The Indianapolis Colts are the epitome of the word gilded. What I mean by this is that if you take a quick glance at them, you'll think they're an organization with a proud legacy. 2 rings, 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but then you start to look into them a little bit further and you realize they're not what they're cracked up to be. Being the first NFL team to lose to an AFL team, the Irsay's midnight ride to Indianapolis, which in turn made Johnny Unitas disown them, the John Elway fiasco, and being the joke of the league for a better part of 15 years until they bumbled their way into drafting Peyton Manning. During Manning's tenure in Indianapolis, he led them to 2 Super Bowl appearances, which included a win against the Chicago Bears, and he's generally considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. How do Jim Irsay and the Colts organization thank him? They parade him around as if he's their guy and that they'd do anything for him, and then when the time comes, they refuse to pay him the big bucks. When he says fuck it and plays under the franchise tag, he sustains an off-season neck injury. Without him, the Colts were the worst team in the league in 2011, obtaining the first overall pick for the upcoming draft. When they find out they can develop a new generational quarterback in Andrew Luck, they take Peyton Manning to the gates of Lucas Oil Stadium and tell him about the Rabbits. They leave his corpse on the side of the road for the Broncos to find and resurrect for 2012. Good thing they have Andrew Luck, though. Surely management, coaching, and ownership will do their best to help him out. Surely they'll actually give Luck a stable offensive line before it's too late. Surely they won't say his issues are all mental. Surely they won't drain him of all energy and passion to the point where he just puts in his 2 weeks and retires at the age of 29. Oh wait, they did all of that. Since Luck's been gone, the Colts have felt more abandoned and decrepit than Gary, Indiana. Then for about 4 years, they decided their game plan would be to rent a new quarterback every year. Why build for the future when you can pretend you can still compete with the old core? Chris Ballard and Frank Reich turned the Colts into a playoff team in 2018 and put together a depressing yet not terrible season in 2019. Things were looking up for the Colts in 2020, especially when they signed Phillip Rivers. He's an old man and he's nowhere close to the elite QB he used to be, but hey, if he can just game manage while the run game and defense carries him to a first-round exit, no need to worry, I guess. Chris Ballard realizes the team is one piece away from contending after Rivers retired, so rather than make a legitimate move for a quarterback, he decides to try and revive the fallen angel of Philadelphia and Carson Wentz to be the new face of the franchise. I mean, he's okay, I guess. He's not a world beater or anything, but he's not awful. His decision-making still sucks, but as long as Jonathan Taylor and the defense keep playing at an elite level, the Colts should be fine. All they have to do is breathe and they can make the playoffs by beating the league worst Jaguars. Oh wait, this is the Colts and Carson Wentz, who immediately shit the bed and missed the playoffs because fuck you. Chris Ballard trades Carson Wentz to the musty swamp of Washington and realizes what he needs is a real quarterback, someone who can truly let them compete, and he made his move. He got a cheat sheet for the NFL for this, from 6 years ago. He trades a 3rd-round pick for Matt fucking Ryan, and it goes about as well as you'd think. Even Frank Reich couldn't do much with him considering he was as old as the Magna Carta. By mid-season, the Colts were in total freefall, and after about 4 years of that rent-a-QB plan failing, Jim Irsay made a pretty easy call on who to fire. Apparently all the dog-shit trades and signings are Frank Reich's fault. You know, the main reason you've been competitive in games since Luck left? Irsay's incompetence has been on display before, wanting Peyton to retire as a Colt after nearly killing his career, calling Luck's injuries all mental, and now firing Reich. What's funny is that Irsay pretends that he always loved Luck to the point where the Commanders were rumored to be talking to him recently and he called for a tampering investigation. My guy, the QB you ruined's contract expired 2 years ago, and besides, he was never coming back to your shit show of an organization. Irsay wanted his rebuild to be perfect though, so he hired an old ass-kisser in Jeff Saturday to be his new head coach for 2022. Saturday's coaching record didn't even go beyond the high school level, where he absolutely sucked. He was so amazing for Indianapolis that he gave them a 4-win season and the ability to hire one of Frank Reich's disciples as a head coach, pretty much confirming that Irsay was a fucking idiot to fire him. He also gave him the ability to draft one of the more boomer-bust quarterbacks of the 2023 draft class in Anthony Richardson. He has a hell of a lot of upside, but he's a guy who needs real development. Unfortunately, it's looking like the Colts will throw him into the fire in week 1 and let him die there. It wouldn't really surprise me considering their tendencies to ruin franchise quarterbacks. The smartest quarterback they ever drafted was John Elway. He knew to treat the Colts like the plague and get the hell away from them. It's only a matter of time before Ballard finally gets fired and the Colts are embroiled in chaos once again. What sucks is that nothing's going to change unless Irsay's forced to sell. So Colts fans, have fun. You're stuck with that pill-popping, guitar-collecting degenerate Irsay and for at least another eternity. And that's the Indianapolis Colts for you. I'll see you around.
Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.